thank you for coming to my channel. So let's get straight into this episode of Tamar Braxton Get Your Life, episode 4. So we start off back at Tamar's home where David has arrived to have the conversation with Goli. Tamar asks Goli where her jacket came from. Goli tells her that they had her put it on to look less witchy this morning. We hear a producer in the background saying, not us at all, Robert, who is Tamar's assistant. Tamar apologizes to her as she knew nothing about it. Goli tells her they said she'll embarrass her and David's family because of the way she dresses. And you would think this lady had her titties out or something, like she was wearing clothes that were inappropriate. Like she just has her own fashion, which is cute. She looks cute. Tamar is surprised and says that's why she doesn't live her life by other people. And then we hear that in the other room, David and Logan are making this huge ruckus. And Tamar gets annoyed because it's Logan's bedtime. So she goes over there and politely says, hey, baby, it's like, it's his bedtime. In the confessionals, we hear Goli tell us that she's been treated badly by David. And he's the only one who's been a negative person because he's afraid of her. We see Logan tell the camera people to go away and not to film him. So you know he got that from his mama. So David and Goli sit down. He says in his confessional that he has the right to ask questions about where the source of her powers come from. She tells him she was offended by the voodoo witchcraft comments and that she came in to help Tamar find her voice. He says, I've seen that your process works, but that's not the question. You know, I'm from Africa and I've seen a lot of things. So when you can remember your dreams this vividly, you are connecting to a certain spirit within yourself, and that spirit has a source. And if it doesn't come from Jesus Christ in the Bible, then I can't subscribe to it. If you can tell me a place in the Bible where dreams are manifested by God, then I'll believe you. I'd like to know what's wrong with connecting to the spirit within yourself, and why David doesn't know about Daniel interpreting dreams for Nebuchadnezzar and Joseph interpreting dreams in the Bible, and why Goli has to explain that to him and he can't look for himself since he is the Christian, and why he has never heard of the subconscious, and that, you know, there's a deeper level to yourself. Why does he not know this? She begins to explain to him about a book, and he cuts her off saying that he only wants to talk about the Bible, which she doesn't know by heart, but that's what he needs. She tells him it's about psychology and it has nothing to do with God, and that's a big deal for him. She said she asked questions while going through the dream. Then he insinuates that she is leading Tamar in a way by her questions. He feels the dreams could be interpreted as going to pray or read your Bible or go to your friends or family or your pastor. They go back and forth about who interprets the dream, and he tries his best to trip her up. It's like watching a lawyer badger a witness, but the lawyer is not as intelligent as they think they are. She explains that she guides and looks at the symbols and walks them through the process, but you know, he should actually just sit and watch what happens. David smirks like he's proud of himself in this moment. Goli says David feels that he has an opinion and that it matters, which is a pattern from Tamar's past relationships in regards to her work life. So even like we've seen that with Vince, and we can only imagine. I think the guy she was married to before was some kind of a music producer as well. Goli says he saw her responding to the work and me, and he's threatened by her presence. She gets a little strength as she asks David where is the scripture in the Bible for twerking, trying to call him out on his hypocrisy, but he just blows her off because he's busy messing around with Logan, who is supposed to be asleep. She brings it to Tamar, who says she's not asking for the scripture and she's still saved when she twerks. There's no chapter in the Bible called Twerkazoid. And she has a good point there. It's like, you don't criticize that, but this is something that you're criticizing. Like, if at least be consistent with your bullshit all the way, if that's the case. Goli said their private life is not her business, but his animosity for the work she is doing is. He's a control freak, and maybe he does voodoo, and he's hypnotizing her because he wants Goli out of the picture. She tells Michael her work is about her voice, and she doesn't know how to do that when everybody is blocking her. She'd go home and look at the Bible, but everything's on David's time. Is it his show or is it Tamar's show? And it's like, finally somebody said it. Tamar at this point seems like she's over it. She's frustrated. She's snapping at everybody, and she's ready to go to sleep. She doesn't like how everything is going. So they're done for the night. Seems like they were done for a couple of days at least. Tamar has allowed the cameras to come back as she prepares for her show in Atlanta, which is 2 days away, and David's 50th birthday, which is on the Saturday. She meets with A.D. Dolphin, who's a friend of hers, and they go over this diet tea and a possible partnership. Now she's ready to try this tea. He wants her to eat raw, but she wants to go without eating because she's trying to prepare for the show and the party on the weekend, so she's trying to get as snatched as possible. So he says to her that it's unhealthy to go without eating, but she doesn't care. She just wants to be snatched. He says nobody wants skinny anymore. They want slim thick. And she said, you're either fat or you're skinny. She's not understanding this concept of slim thick. She can't get no examples. She's like, it's either fat or skinny for her. Which is like, okay. Whatever works for you. It's really unhealthy to just decide to not eat like that. There's really a process to doing it, and going wrong would be the best way. And she was like saying to him that whatever he does has never helped her, but she never follows his rules. So it's like, you can't have it both ways. Dear Tamar. Tamar and her stylist go into a store looking for something for David's birthday. David's dusty family is coming from Nigeria to her home for the first time and is going to be on camera for the first time as well. She talks about wearing a fake ring to manifest a wedding ring because it's bad luck to try on dresses without a ring. She tries on this bomb-ass black sequin dress which hugged her body perfectly and had this deep V and was giving us areola chic because she was slipping every chance she could get. It was really cute though. It was really nice. Tamar heads to Atlanta to open up for Todrick Hall. David is coming later and has not spoken to Goli since their discussion. Since divorcing Vince, Tamar handles all her own bookings. And she's wearing this wig with the funny for me to be talking about people's edges when my edges is all kinky, but which I don't mind, by the way. But she had this wig on, and it was clear like she had it like half up, and she shouldn't because the hairline was looking crazy. It was just like, wear the thing the way it's supposed to be done, and put on a hat or something, boo. They celebrate the fact that Todrick has been able to put on such an amazing show without any help. He has no record label, no manager, no agent that helps him book his shows. He does everything himself. And so Tamar is pretty much doing the same kind of thing. So they really like vibe on that level. And I guess she has a new respect for him watching his production. Tamar is doing sound check and edits and has literally like 6 minutes to do the whole thing before the doors open for people to come in. And Todrick already told her like, you gonna be on time. So, she had to be on her P's and Q's with that. David arrives just as the doors open, and Goli is like keeping her distance. They still haven't spoken, and it becomes time to go on stage, and they head towards the stage, and Todrick is wearing this amazing like mini dress, but it's clearly for stage, but it's made out of red Solo cups. The thing was so cute. It was really cute. I didn't like the boots or the wig or anything else, but the dress was really like very creative. Both their performances go great, and for his performance, they're in the audience watching Goli, Tamar, and David, and Goli and David are next to each other, and they're just not even speaking with each other. There's no communication. So Goli, when they get backstage and they're talking about the show, Goli keeps asking about Todrick's budget, and David tells her to stop worrying about money. And it's awkward because, they haven't been interacting. Tamar tries to smooth it over with, "That's my rich boyfriend talking." Goli starts giving her all this over-the-top praise, like she's the best and she's the most beautiful, as though she's trying to fill in awkward silence, like nobody's like paying her attention. Not that she's trying to seek attention, but it was just really awkward and uncomfortable. It was like they were just ignoring her. It was really off. And then David like cut her off and was trying to change the subject. David feels like he should be a part of the process and Goli should help him understand. But his book smarts won't help him in this area because it just seems like he's too limited. Like, book smarts doesn't always add to, they say street smarts, but in other areas. So you might be good with numbers, but you just might be dumb in every other area. So who can help that? Tamar gets makeup done while talking about David's party. The stylist asks her what she's getting for him, and she said that for her birthday, he said her party was his gift, so his party is his gift. And she said she wasn't even planning to be paying for the whole party, and she was gonna just use his card on the sly, But the stylist was like, "Well, you can't go halvesies and not get a gift." And somehow that segues into them talking about the fact that he's a finance guy, and talking about spending gives him hives, and that he gets excited about getting a good deal at Walmart, and that he bought 20 pairs of shoes for under $300, and it was like a huge thing for him. And it was like, Tamar came from, I remember when she first started with the Braxton family values, and she was buying like $1,000 sunglasses and stuff, so I could understand when they first met, it probably was real foreign to her. Back in LA, the focus is back on the party, which is in 2 days. Tamar shows the party planner Giovanni around the house. She tells him David has never had a party for his birthday before, so she wants to go all out, which is crazy. He's about to be 15. He's never had I was like, is he a Jehovah's Witness? That's almost sad. I'm like, even as a kid, you didn't have a birthday party for yourself. So they go through everything, and which even includes the African food and ice sculptures. And Tamar has this beautiful view. You see this beautiful view from her window. It's like, proud of her and her house. Miracle peed on the carpet, so she has to get a new one. And I still don't understand why she has that dog. And she need to get that dog back to Vince. Something. I'm annoyed by him. So Robert tells her the face sculpture deteriorates in about an hour, and because of the detail in it, and she's annoyed that he didn't tell her sooner, because then she wouldn't have gone that direction. She would have gone a different route. I'm hating this hair that Tamar has, like the added on bang with the swoop from the 90s. I'm gonna need her to like stop doing that. I'm tired of seeing that piece of hair. I'm loving when she has just like the finger waves or just a short style or something, just put on a full wig, but this added on piece is just like, it's not it. And Tamar and Goli agree to meet to discuss the tension between her and David. Goli is sitting in the back waiting for Tamar, who is in the front of the restaurant having a whole phone conversation and a meal. And Goli was like even approached by a waitress, and she was like, "I'm gonna wait for Tamar," and Tamar's out front eating chicken wings. Goli waits an hour, and she's clearly pissed about it. Like, it's very rude and it's very dismissive, and Tamar has this sweet way of being dismissive to the people who are working with her. But I hope that Goli addressed that with her, but we didn't see that. And then also that I didn't see any apology, but you know how editing is, you never know if that actually happened. So Tamar finally comes over and makes her way to the table. She wants to know like what really happened and what was the whole breakdown. So she tells her that she was offended by David's biblical questions and feels like he almost is trying to sabotage where they can go, and they only have a short period of time to do the work. because she loves Tamar, she feels like if she offends him, she's offending her. She didn't put him in his place because she doesn't want to hurt Tamar. Tamar says that she grew up with a father that was a pastor, and the Bible thing isn't foreign to her. And she feels like it wasn't a personal attack on, she calls Goli my Goli. Like she has that kind of affection for her. And that David speaks for 50% of Black Americans, that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Holy Trinity, and say one more thing and I'll bust you in your forehead. And I laughed at that because I remember there was a point where I was that kind of Christian. I'm not a Christian anymore. Sorry if you're offended, but I'm not. There was a point in time in my life where I was just that blind to everything. And it was like an attack if you came for this belief. So Goli says, it bothers me, and Tamar cuts her off by saying she loves David and their connection from day one is magic, and if she was divorced at the time, she would have gone to Vegas and married him and whatnot. She doesn't believe that the work is witchcraft, and she feels like it's where she's supposed to be and what she's supposed to be doing. The decision is not someone else's, and that's the mistake she made in the past. And you could be a witch from Witchville, and guess how many fucks I give? None. So it was really cool to see her finally, like, you know, say what her opinion is and put her foot down and make Goli feel confident in the work that she's doing. So again, she doesn't give any fucks if Goli is a witch, because God has his way at the end of the day, and I never thought I could be creative again. God sent you to open the door for me. Who am I not to take this opportunity because of how somebody else feels? I can't do that, so I apologize because it's not David, it's me. I did that because of what I'm used to. I gave someone else the opportunity to judge you while I'm working because it's my fault. Let me fix my faults. So Goli in her confessional says that she trusts her instincts and they're never wrong, and she feels that David pushed her to say that it was her fault. And I'm sure we're going to see that he did. And he kind of had said it earlier on, like in the last week's episode, where he was like, if you're going to make me talk to her, I'm going to say that she's going to lose business by what I have to say. And we're seeing like the depths of manipulation from this man over Tamar, and I think Tamar's actually watching it and seeing the manipulation her damn self. The one thing about a reality show that's so great is that you get to really see your shortcomings, and you can take the time to really work on it. So it's amazing to see that Tamar is seeing that, and that she's starting to repost again. She's starting to post again, tweet again and whatnot. So it's good to see that she's on the up and up. I am rooting for Tamar, and I look forward to see what's happening for her in the future. And I'm so glad that she got rid of that succubus. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share if you can, please. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.